Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, goodness, so many people. Fantastico. 3 pages already. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Tish Hicks. I'm a master sensei of the VO Dojo, usually based in Burbank, California. We one more day in Maui. I've been here for a little while. Super excited to see everybody and see people coming back. I'm excited. This is our Get to Know VO series. We do it the third Wednesday of every month, and we'll be talking about different subjects and different things to focus about knowing VO and how to be building your sustained successful career. Let's see. Jeffrey is here, also named Tish Hicks at the moment, but Jeffrey is our amazing dojo talent support team member, and he's here for this call if you need anything. While people are coming on, we'd love to have you put in the chat where you're calling from, how you heard about the dojo. Yeah, and oh my gosh, so many good people. Fantastico. Okay, well, let's get started. Jeffrey, did I miss anything? Great. Oh,
nope, go for it.
Awesome. Great. So many new faces, so many faces back. This is great. All right. Okay, so let me share my screen here and we'll get started. So do this and share and play. Come on. Can everyone see this? Everyone good? Okay. All right, people are continuing on. All right, so welcome to the VO Dojo. This is Get to Know VO. Today we are going to be talking about how to make money with your voice. Now, if you're on your journey, you may already be making money with your voice, and this may be something that you can think about. How else can I be making money with your voice? If you're just starting your journey, you may not even know all the ways that you can be making money with your voice. We will explore. So a little bit about me. I am originally from Chicago. I've been living in LA for about 27 years. I've been a working VO pro in LA. I've been the voice of Subaru for the last 11 years. I was the voice of Citibank for 7 years before that. I have campaigns running for Workday and working all the genres. A lot of what we do here at the dojo, our philosophy is being able to walk the talk. So everything that we're sharing with you, myself, the team, the dojo senseis are all working on our own careers continuously as well. Here's a little sample. So literally putting my money, putting my voice, like money where your mouth is, I guess. Here's a little sample of some of the super work I've done, so you know that I'm not like just who's she.
I love handling any situation I'm put in. I love going the distance and then some. I love when a good thing gets even better. I love my Subaru Forester.
So that's that. So for those of you who don't know what the VO Dojo is, we are a full training program designed to take you from I don't know to working pro. We have the development division, which is the You Should Do Voiceover Intensive. We have a 14-month full training program called From Mystery to Mastery. We have our working pro level work, the nth degree for working pros, which includes the Focus Action Forum, weekly workouts and accountability. We just did our nth degree intensive that we do 2 or 3 times a year, and it was amazing. really, really powerful. We call it the career catapult. And then our VO Dojo Pro Fight Club, which are working pro workouts that bring together top-notch talent with the decision makers who hire us. So that's sort of a range of what we're offering. And depending on where you are, there's something here where we can help you move forward into whatever you're looking for next. So that's about us. Let's get a sense of who is on this call. And let me see if I can launch this poll. Hold on one second. I might need to escape to get my, hold on one second. Hold that thought of the big screen. And I'm going to launch this poll so we get a sense of where you guys are at and how we can be talking about this. But yeah, would love to hear where you are on your voiceover journey and what you're looking for. All right, so we got, oh, there we go. Yeah, so a good blend, as is always. And I think it's always interesting. One of the mindset things we'll talk about in a second is beginner's mind. So even when you're booking, you know, being able to go back, like, okay, what else do I know? Awesome, this is fantastic. So really nice blend of some experience and a little bit. Excellent. Now, I want you to keep this image. This is actually from the farm that I've been staying at on Maui, this little path. I want to, you know, reiterate, always reminding everybody that we're all constantly on the journey. So, okay, great, fantastic. Let's keep on going. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is a little clunk. Let me hold on a second. Ah, I'm stuck now. Jeffrey, you don't have any hosting skills. You don't have any hosting powers, right?
What do you need?
I'm trying to end the poll. I'm stuck.
Oh,
Stuck. Just
let's see.
the share. I think, oh dear, I can't escape and I can't find my cursor.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is exciting. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Hold on one second. Okay, can you end the poll?
I can't as of right now. I don't see it. Let me try something on my end. Sit tight, everybody.
Yay! It's always something. All right, we're stuck.
Tish, he should be able to because he's the host.
Yeah, he should be able to, I think. If you can we can either stop the share or stop the poll or something so that I can get.
There was just a suggestion in the chat also from someone, Alt plus something.
Oh, escape. Yeah, hold on.
There.
Got it. Good job. Okay. Takes a village. Awesome. Okay. And
Thank you.
And pull, and we don't want to stop the share. Okay, there's the results. Here's the results so everybody knows. And okay. Thanks, guys. Perfectly imperfect. Here we go. All right, let's go back to here. And a second, I need to get this quiz out of here. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the quiz. Goodbye, quiz. Now I am just in a sitcom. Hold on one second. Okay, there's the quiz gone. Got it. And here's this. Okay, so preaching to the choir a little bit here, but the idea of why would you want to do voiceover, which is the heart of everything when you're starting your voiceover business. Voiceover has the potential to make big money or whatever amount of money that you are going after, which we'll talk about in a second. You can really work from anywhere with internet. I've literally been in Maui for 2.5 months, doing everything that I need to. My internet sucked a little bit, so I needed to do sessions at a studio. But I got to meet some very nice people at the studio in Maui. And if you're ever in Maui, Backlight Buddha is the place to go. The other really cool thing about voiceover is that you can do it from when you are very, very young. My 15-year-old son is like, "Hey, mom, when are you coming back? Because I want to be booking auditions." I'm like, "Well, you got to do it." We have people who are part of the dojo members who Kat Peterson just graduated from college yesterday or on Saturday, and Phil Ashton is a retired judge. So we have everybody in between. In the nth degree intensive, it was really exciting. So we had a panel of representation agents and managers, and I was really heartened to hear that everybody is looking for more experienced voices, though that mature voice. So it's like, that's very exciting. Okay. So understanding that voiceover is an art form that serves commerce is one layer of why we do this in terms of making money. And the idea is that then the commerce serves your art form or whatever it is, whatever else you're going to be doing. So we talked about 39 ways to make money with your voice, 39 different paths to cash. So let's take a look at this and explore. Again, depending on where you are on your journey and how you've come into the realm of voiceover, you might have come in through one way and not known about another way. Or you may have come with all your awareness, for all of these things. So let's just take this in for a minute. Let me see if I can see you guys. Oh, I so need. Hold on one second. I'm going to make it so I can see you guys again. Let's see. Can you let Carrie in? Jeffrey, because I think it's making so I can't to do this again. Hold on one second. Ooh, no, that's not what I want.
Sorry, what are you trying to do, Tish?
I'm stuck again. I don't have my cursor.
Alt tab, maybe?
No, that just goes to shoot. Oh shoot. Oh, crumbs, guys. I'm stuck again. Oh no, we're in such a flow. I do not want to force quit. Okay, hold on a second. All right, maybe I can, oh, there we go. Okay, that went away. Shoot. Why does this keep happening? Okay, well, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. My pictures of you are here. Okay, I will figure this out. Okay, so these are all, you've now had a little second to take all these in. Who has seen this map before? Or who is this new? Well, let's see, who's this new for? Who's not seen this before? Excellent, good. So what this is all the genres of voiceover, separated into sort of families, areas. So each of these different colors of things are different places that you can be making money and ways that you can be making money. So we'll look at all these. There's commercials with TV and radio, infomercial, which is sort of the love child between narration and commercial, and then all of these variations of narration telling the story. each of these are ways that you can be building, you can be making money doing voiceover. Live announce, promos, trailers, radio imaging should be there too. Animation is its own realm. Video games. Anime is the love child between animation and working to picture in all of these ways. ADR, which is additional dialogue replacement, looping, dubbing, voice matching. There's the realms of broadcast and webcast, which I have called the cousins of voiceover, although podcast and audio drama that's named podcasts have become quite prominent and quite prolific. And the voice of things are always getting further and deeper. This should also have AI on here too, which is another way. So why don't we put in the chat? How are you currently making money? Which realms are you working in? That if those of you who are on the journey enough to be making money with it, where are you making money? Let me see if I can open up the chat so I can see it. Oh, I can. Yes. Industrial narration, commercials mostly, TV print, wanting to get more animation. Good. E-learning, audio description. Yeah. Demos for commercial. Yeah. So a lot of people have come in from some ways and are making money in certain ways. And I think the game is that audio turn. Yes. Excellent. Good. Fantastic. Good. All right. So a lot of people have certain things that are working for them. Carolina's doing all of it. That's what we're looking for. that's what we want, a really fully diversified portfolio. Really good. Excellent. Well, let's keep on going. If we can. Awesome. Come on, machine. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. I'm going to force quit the presentation for a second, guys, because this is making me crazy. So hold on one second. I'm going to pop out. I do want to force quit. It sounds so mean, but I do. Okay. And maybe I'll do this. Hold on one second. Don't want to do that. Okay. Let me just try this and see if this helps. Thank you for your patience. Okay, let's see if that helps, and let's restart this. And then we will have everybody, the chat and the presentation. Hey, let me just find it again. Oops, no VO. And here it is. Okay, we will try again. We were on this. So I will share screen, pop up here, and we'll play again. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
Okay, let's keep on going. All right. So those are ways that we can be making money. So the idea is how to create consistent cash with your voice. And here's a couple of questions to consider. You know, what are you leaving on the table, right? When you see that mind map, where are other places that you could be making money? I've been doing this for a long time, and I look at that map every day and go, ooh, there's another place. Cool, there's another place. And then really having the consideration of what do you need to put on the table to build your thriving, successful voiceover career. Um, Really, what you need to create consistent income in voiceover is understanding that you are investing in your business. You're investing your time, you're investing your money, you're investing your focus, your energy, and your passion, right? And just like these little plants here that are growing on little piles of money, it takes all of these things to get things going consistently. So that's sort of the first thing, to recognize that voiceover is not a cup of noodles. It's not something like, oh, and then I just put some water in and ta-da. It can be. There's places that you can start making money, and then you're building always. Yeah. So here, this is an interesting set of statistics from the 2020 Voice Actors of New York did a survey of about 1,200 voice actors, and just asked some really interesting questions about how long and how long people have been doing it, how much money they've been making. The reality is that it takes a little bit of time to get to the place where you're making consistent income. When I started in voiceover, I got a break. I got a break because my friend was a creative director, and asked me to come and voice some radio spots. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I didn't know what it was. And I left that session going, this is what I'm going to do. And then did all the training and stuff to build what has become my decades long career. And it took a couple of years of training, and it took, well, at least 1 year of training. And then it took a little while before I could make a full-time living. It was probably about another year and a half. So I started a graphic design company that I did when we did cassette tape covers for people in voiceover at the time. So just understanding that this is a long haul thing that we're talking about, and it takes a little bit of time to get to where you are making money consistently. I think if you understand that, that's an important thing. Then we can have our patience and be building towards diversification. We noticed that a lot of people have several things, and then one person had all the things, which is a great way to do it. Finding all of the different ways that you can, the more that you can do, the more opportunities you have, right? So everyone doesn't have to do all of these things, and the more of these things you can do, the more you have revenue streams coming in, right? Each of you will have your own place where your voice lies, and it's just the sweet spot for, that's what you're good at. That is where it clicks. And then you can always add. I really suggest focusing and then diversifying. You don't have to do all of this at once. A lot of them will lend themselves to each other, right? If you understand corporate narration, then you can easily shift to non-broadcast explainers, right? Let's see. And then just understanding that there is the natural progression from I don't know to working pro, which we've sort of just talked about. At the dojo, we break down this natural progression into belt levels, taking the martial arts model. So white belts is initiation and awareness. Then there's exploration of finding out what everything is. um, going and spending time at the parties. Green belt is self-exploration, which becomes your demo prep. And that is understanding what you're bringing to the parties. Blue belt is demo production, being able to present what you're bringing. This becomes important as you're diversifying into different areas, because you'll need a demo for each of those things to present to that particular client who is buying that particular skill set. Then brown belt is what we're talking about now. Brown belt is how you are going to integrate your skills into this marketplace. And then black belt is not a culmination, but it's expansion. So now you're ready, now your work begins. And this applies to each of those genres too, right? You may be making a lot of money doing commercials, and then you step into this new realm of, say, promos, and then you begin the journey of this natural progression of acquiring those skills. So the Mystery to Mastery program is the yellow through brown belt. So what does it take to do this? If you guys are making money already, you know, it takes, we talk about the 5 things that it takes, and really thinking about it as, you know, if someone came up to you and said, people tell me all the time I should be a professional boxer, what should I do? These are the 5 things that apply, right? And really stepping in, being ready to step into the ring at those levels. So the first is decision. Again, making a decision to explore and learn, you know, develop your skills in voiceover is one decision. And each of these other things that you can explore, you make a decision to add that to your repertoire as well, right? The second thing is mindset. At the dojo, we are all about mindset, the internal training being equally, if not more important than all of the external training, right? We can all know how to learn copy. How do we learn to put our mindset into the entrepreneurial mindset, our working relationship with ourselves, our inner critics? It's not an easy business. It's kind of like boxing, and like there's stuff that's you have to bring that stamina, you have to bring that ready for anything. You need to be able to take a punch. No one's actually going to punch you, but doing this work as you do another bunch of auditions without any recognition or callback, it might feel like you're being battered a little bit. But if we have a mindset of that's not what it's about, then we don't take it that way and we keep on moving forward. There's technique, so learning the tools and the skills that you need. There's application, which is just doing 10,000 hours to mastery. So each of these things, you can start a new clock in some ways. You'll build off of what you already know. And then support, which we'll talk about in a second. So yes, so decision. Nobody cares if you do this or not. Nobody cares if you do all of the things or not. You can do exactly what you choose to do and go after in this realm. So just making sure that you make a decision and don't expect things to just happen. Well, that's a mindset. We do the work and then we do expect things to happen. Things aren't going to happen without knowing where you're going and taking action to get there. Mindset. Today I wanted to share some of the principles of mindset that we have at the dojo, that we work from at the dojo, foundational principles. We call them the rules of the dojo. So some of you are in the program, might know these, but these are good things that apply to everything. The first rule of the dojo is know what you want, ask for it. People will give it to you if you allow. Actually, let me just go back to that. Let me just give you a second to take that in. Know what you want, ask for it. People will give it to you if you allow. 4 really different things that work together, and everyone has their own relationship with each. So this is focus. Second rule of the dojo, leave your inner critic outside the booth. Positive self-direction. Anyone have tussles with their inner critic sometimes when they are stepping in the booth? Or if you're just beginning, like, who do you think you are? Why would you think you could do that, right? Or let's just do, oh, that was terrible. Let's do it one more time. We all have this, and it's really, really important that it's not part of our work, and we can be putting all of our energies to putting our best selves forward, even though our inner critics are part of our best selves. They're not something to be eliminated. Here's one of my favorites: confidence. Know you can do it even though you've never tried. And this is a spirit that you can do with any of these things that we're talking about adding. Try it, see what happens. See what happens even if you've never done it. And that inner confidence is everything. When you have inner confidence, then that exudes outer confidence, and that is where everybody flows forward. Excellence. This is what we're all striving for. This is what it really requires to be a part of this work at the levels that you want to be working, to be making your consistent cash flow, right? Excellence. We need to know that we are essential and we are expendable. There's no room for mediocrity. So we're always striving for excellence. Notice I didn't say perfection. We are not striving for perfection. We're striving for excellence and to be able to deliver at the highest level of ease, effortlessness, ability to deliver nuance and understand what each of these genres need. So excellence is definitely something we are always cultivating. And this last rule of the dojo, cultivate beginner's mind. Every time you come to something new, you get to start over and recognize and come at it with determination, humility, and curiosity. And the further along you get, the more impactful it is when you can come back to this beginner's mind and think about what it is to be beginners. Think about when you spend time with a little kid and they're just like, whoa, what is it? Let's see, let's play, let's find out. Oh, I love that. I want to find out more and more and more. So understand there's certain power in this, and we come back to it at all and any times. So those are some mindset things. So we've talked about decision, mindset, technique. These are all the tools and the skills that you're building. And each of these genres require a slightly different set of tools that you will build upon, and then make these little adjustments. The idea of application and support, which is what we just talked about. Yes. So what are your tool sets? What else do you need to build and grow in each genre that you're working on? And then application, just understanding that mastery is 10,000 hours, and where are you at in your journey of that? I think there's certain of us that cross T's and dot I's, and then there's certain of us that are like, don't put a bridle on me. I'm a free flowing Mustang. I gotta go. So how do you find both of those things, and how do you keep track of what you're putting into your business, and then start noticing what you're getting out of your business? So how many hours a week are you putting in, and what's coming out? And then this idea of support, that it's always just you, but you never do it alone. Oops. Yeah, I feel like I've missed a big chunk of something. This is not, hold on one second. I'm going to stop the share. So I feel like I've missed an important part of what I wanted to talk about today. Interesting. Yes, I did. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, guys. I have been in Maui and it has been interesting to be doing everything at once. What are we doing for time? Um,
We're at 10:36.
10:36. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just see if I can quickly shift gears here and find what I wanted to. Interesting. Okay, let me just see. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I skipped. Oh, you know what I did? Oh, you guys, when I put things off, I skipped a big chunk because I went to the second slide. Okay, gotcha. 1 second. That's what happened. Okay, hold on. We've got it. We've got it. I was like, wait, there's a big chunk of what I wanted to share with you guys today. And I want to get a sense of where you guys are at and what you guys know and what you think. Okay, so this was the one. Okay, that makes sense and is weird. Okay, so we're looking at all of this, right? So skipping back to this idea of how much does it pay and how do you make money? If you're doing something other than voiceover, voiceover, when you get it flowing, can be something that makes so much money in so little time in some ways, right? Eric Lieb had some great success in he had a moment where he recognized this was exactly what the deal was. And again, with the idea that this doesn't necessarily happen all at once, but how much money can you be making in voiceover? This is also from the survey. You'll notice that 48% of people are making a little bit of money in voiceover. And then the other half are making more to a lot more, right? So putting that together with the timelines of, as you keep on going, the idea is you keep on going here. I've been super blessed to be in this 9%, definitely this 9% for pretty much all of the years that I've been doing this. As well as the first few years we're building to it, and then it has been this consistent. Okay, I guess it was just, sorry, hold on 1 second. Okay, I guess that is the things that we missed. But I wanted to ask you guys, I wanted to do a little interaction. So some of you are working in this realms, but let's talk. Let's talk a little bit about how much money you can make here. 1 second. Oops. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I want to open this and these notes. And so, So in these realms, let's take a look at oh, here's a question. Or why don't we do this a little more interactively? I've got these notes up. So why don't we have someone raise their hand and choose a thing, choose choose a category, and we can talk about how you can be making money, what kind of money you make there. So let's do this. Oops, no, I need to do it there. Okay, hold on. Okay, so who's interested in finding out which things make what money? Am I saying this clearly? Oh, there we go, Sarah. Sarah, then Zoe. So hi, Sarah.
Hi. I would love to hear you talk a little bit about video games and animation, because it's something that I'm really stoked to learn more about. I've mostly been doing commercials, but yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, it's good to know. So video games, there's union and there's non-union in all of this. There's union and there's non-union, and that's a whole nother discussion that I think we'll do a get to know VO about what are the ins and outs of all of those things. So video games, union rates are wait, where is it? It's I think it's like 956, 954. Hold on a second.
That sounds about right.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 825 for a 4-hour session, and then non-union is 200 to 350 per hour with a 2 or 4 hour minimum, right? So it can work out both ways. Yeah, so that's how. And then with video games, you don't get residuals. There's a little bump when things sell, and there's a new thing that keeping track of how many sessions you get and union stuff, and you get a little bump from that. Yeah, so it's interesting because video games are awesome and they're super fun to do. And then in terms of how they fit into your diversification, if you start thinking, oh, I did a commercial and I'm getting paid a session fee and I get paid usage. And so I do that one session and it keeps on paying if you're doing union stuff, or you get a buyout for a year. It's interesting how you almost have to diversify, right? When you're in video games. And then the other thing that you think about, like, how do you make money doing voiceover? And the things that may not pay as much consistently, right? You get a video game, you get a well-known character, and then for the next 20 years, you're able to go to conventions or Comic-Cons around the world, the whole con circuit, and you can generate money off of that. Which leads to sort of animation and anime. Those also have, so for union animation, it's about $1,000 for a 4-hour session. And for anime, it's like $75 to $200 an hour for the 2-hour minimum. So it's very, very little for anime. However, again, if you get well known in that realm with lots of fan base, there's ways that you can then leverage off of that and becoming that not quite influencer, but having that high impact. So yeah, is that helpful?
Super helpful, thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. I think Zoe had her hand up, but I don't see it now. So let's go to.
Yeah, it's up.
Oh, it's up. Okay, Zoe.
Hi.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Hey.
So that was part of my question. But
Mhm.
I'm also curious about PA systems or so like for stores and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the different realms of, so like if you're doing something like an airport announcement, that sort of thing, it's sort of like 1,500 to 2,000 per airport per year. So like you're talking about, like if you're the Safeway lady, like coming in store now, bananas are only 39 cents a pound, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I think it it's sort of the thing with those that you would probably be on a retainer. So it would be like you'd be doing a bunch of them. So it might be that you're getting paid less per spot, but you get to you're doing so many of them. Yeah, yeah. And that's sort of it's called point of purchase too. Hold on one second. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of you know about this, but the GVAA rate guide is the place to look up all of these things, or to even be thinking about them, right? Like where would we do that? So you think about this as non-broadcast, right? Because it's not being aired. And point of purchase. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. Let's see. Kiosk use 525. I just seen the point of purchase. Yes. Is this work that you have gotten, Zoe, that you've been offered?
No,
going
it's a
after?
lead I'm exploring. I found a
Uh-huh.
company that does that who's looking for voiceover artists.
Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Oh, wait. That's that. Cool. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll come back as we're
No
doing.
problem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Oh, hold on one second. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's do a couple more. Let's do a couple more, and then we'll open it up to other questions and questions in general about where you're at and what you'd like to know.
I know Gwen's had her hand raised for a bit.
Awesome, Gwen.
Hi, I am
Yeah.
really interested in e-learning and how it compares in terms of rates to explainers.
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so e-learning is one of the most lucrative forms of narration. If you think about it, how and where does e-learning happen, and how does it get used? So it's probably people who have some kind of program or something that requires investment in the e-learning thing, right? It's how their content is getting delivered, or how their training is getting delivered, right? So that is very important. So if you think of yourself in e-learning as someone who the company does not have to pay for someone in person to come to places to teach people, right? It becomes very valuable, and all of that training and development budget is usually there. So in terms of so let's just talk about it. So in terms of e-learning, there's several ways that you can get paid. You can get paid per word, which would be 20 to 35 cents per word. And when you think about that, think, wow, that doesn't sound like very much. But if it's a 10,000 word piece, right? Like, oh, that's a nice little chunk of change. You can get paid per finished minute, which would be like 30 to 55 per finished minute. And if you, depending on the project, you could get paid 1500 to 3300 per finished hour. So you'd have to figure out what is in your best interest in terms of how the materials that you're working on. Now, an explainer video is usually a specified amount of time, like maybe 90 seconds, and that might be 325 to 500 per pop, right? So it would just be that thing, and you get paid that amount. So you can do a bunch of them and get really good at them and do them for everything. So that's a little bit of some of the difference. Royal, I know you do a lot of e-learning. Royal is actually a dojo member, and he has been part of our Go Guide series. So Go Guides, we invite people who've had experience in dojo members who go out and have success in different genres to come back and share their journey, their best practices, and give tips on different genres. So Royal and one of our senseis, Terry Nicole, have a whole Go Guide about e-learning, if that's something that anyone's looking to add to their diversified portfolio. But yeah, Royal, what was your question, and or if there's anything that you can share with Gwen about the difference between explainer and e-learning?
Well, with explainer, it's more about the negotiation is for one thing. As with e-learning, as you had brought out earlier, it's basically per word, or sometimes it's per unit, and
right.
even
the whole project, right?
Yeah, for the whole project. Where, like, explainers, you'll get like $250 and on up wherever you negotiate that for that entire project. But once that's done for that explainer, depending on what company you're using, then there's no residual, or there's no callbacks. With e-learning, you're constantly getting called back because one module may lead to another one. I've been doing a lot of K through 12 e-learning, and that's interesting because it's a lot of stuff that I thought I knew in high school, that I knew in elementary school, that I found out that it didn't. And I wasn't good at biology, but I found myself teaching a lot of biology classes.
That's good. You can play one on TV when you're in voiceover.
I do a lot of stuff. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff on audio books as well as that. But my question, what I was interested in, and it seems kind of new because I'm seeing a lot of TV stations, a lot of streaming channels do this, as well as movies and theaters and other places, is audio description. Yeah, and so I've been exploring that, but I have no idea. I'm still exploring it. So if you have anything on audio description, I really love to know more about that.
Yeah. Audio description is it's kind of like dubbing, and it's kind of like audio books. And oftentimes in audio description, you may be asked to just do the audio description, and oftentimes it is also that you may be asked to write the description. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I know it does a lot with the helps the Society of the Blind.
Yeah.
That's where it really comes in, because if when you see AD on a TV show, you can actually click on to the audio description where that SAF thing is. And sometimes there's audio description as a preference, as far as rather than a closed caption.
Yeah.
And listening to it, it's just like Law and Order. which is one of my favorite shows, they actually describing the pictures that you're seeing. And it's real, you have to be real quick about it. And I know some of the people that are doing these classes,
Mhm.
and they charge a lot of money for it.
Right.
Yeah, it's they're doing Roy Samuelson. I know he
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
and he actually uses some people who are actually blind to help him.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Well,
with
I
the
think, yeah, I think so. So rates for audio description are kind of like $15 to $30 per minute, if you're just narrating. And I think with a lot of things that are these longer form, lower pay things, you figure out how do you with all of this, it's how do you create repeat clients, right? That's really how you create consistent work, is doing a great job with somebody and they hire you for continue to hire you, right? That the long running campaigns that I've had have been about those relationships and they continue to hire you. So that's really the name of the game. And then figuring out how to diversify your portfolio, so you have these things that you get good at, and they might take a certain amount of time, and you figure out, how do you have something that may be lower paying, but you have it consistently, so you always know that it's there, right? I call it the pot of lentils on the stove. You know that you're never going to go hungry because there's a pot of lentils. It may not pay so much. Oh, definitely. Yeah, we're going to wrap up in a second, and we'll probably stay and take a few more questions too, because I'd like to hear what's on your guys' mind. Yeah, so figuring out time it takes, how much money it takes, or how much money it gives for that, and then figuring out where it fits in, where you're available. So yeah, good. Well, let's do this. Let's wrap up, and then we can take a few more minutes. Let's go back to here. We'll wrap up, and I'd love to hear your questions. Hold on a second, get down to where we were. So yeah, let's we'll open up for questions, but we'll report here. So we talked about support and what's next. We love to have everybody join us. If this has been helpful, if you have more questions, if you're interested in anything that we're doing here at the dojo, love to have you join us. We've got people that we're working with all over the world. We have You Should Do voiceover sessions coming up, starting in June and July, Mondays and Saturdays. If you're beyond that, touch base with us. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Hold on a second. There we go. There's the big thing. If you are on this call and want to sign up, you can sign up today and through the end, like through Monday, and save $100 on You Should Do voiceover. And if you are not at You Should Do voiceover level, if you're on your road, sign up for a voiceover once over. I'm sorry, this is how you get to the You Should Do voiceover, and you can use that code till Monday to save $100. And I'll come back to that in a second. And everybody, oh my gosh, hold on a second, my computer's going crazy. And if anybody is working at whatever level you are, you want to get more information, sign up for a voiceover once over. You can talk to Jeffrey, and he'll guide you to who you should talk to. Melina is our nth degree producer. If you're working at a certain level, you can talk with me. And so Jeffrey can guide you in terms of getting a sense of where you are and where you'd like to be and how we might be able to help. So that is the vodojo.com/VOO. If you're not already, you can follow us. It seems like the VO Dojo is all the handles. And yeah, we'll finish up with why do VO? Important things, love and money. VO requires you to be nimble-minded, open-hearted, focused in action, unstoppable in spirit, available to overflowing abundance, and ready for endless possibilities. So I'll leave that up. And if you need to roll, thank you so much for being here. We'd love to hear if you have a second to put your Dojo O in the chat. Just what was inspiring to you? What made you go oh? And put that in the chat before you roll. And then if you can stay for a couple of seconds, let's do some more questions about anything that we've talked about or what's on your mind. Yeah, who has some questions? What resonated for you?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Am I getting a feedback?
No, let me see. I can't see you. Who's speaking?
It's Carolina. There we
Oh,
go.
Carolina.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering because I didn't see on the document. Do you know? And maybe this is close to commercial, but for political ads, how those should be rated? Because I know usually commercials are 13 weeks, but some political ads only run for 4. So do they get a discount for that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think like political ads are kind of in between promos and commercials, right? Because there might be one that runs for a little bit, but it might be like, this is what we're addressing right now.
And sometimes it's only in one location too.
Right, exactly. Very market based as well. Yeah, I am not so sure about the political. I do know like Sensei Kat, one of our dojo senseis, Catherine Champion, just did a bunch of.
I know Kat.
Yeah,
I know Kat.
Yeah, no. So Kat just did a bunch of political for the Biden, not the campaign, but the some of the programs, and Build Back Better, and they were union rates. They were union rates for like it was just full straight up union spots. So she did like 48 spots, and it was very, very lucrative.
Oh, wow.
And so I think it really varies on how things are being used in that same way that you can get into that union thing, and then it may be less. I know she had talked with Maria about rates, and Maria was like, "Oh, it probably won't be that much because of this," and then it turned out to be a lot more. So I think it sort of varies. Yeah,
Okay.
if you have more questions, yeah, let us know and we can connect you with Kat, because she's been working directly in that realm. And tis the season too. Tis the season. So
yeah, because sometimes I get direct requests, so I have to name my fee. I don't want to lowball myself.
Yeah. And seems you're who's working in all the realms, right? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Good.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah. What are the questions?
I think Kevin had one a little while ago about how to get into e-learning. Did we answer that one already?
Oh, I don't think we did. We did not. Yeah. So so e-learning is something that you can get into from, being in places like on pay-to-plays that have opportunities. Often people who need e-learning will share the jobs that they're looking to cast there. And a lot of e-learning is also building relationships with with the people who make the e-learning. So there's companies who create e-learning opportunities. And so how do you become, Royal, help me out. What is the name? What are those people? What are those companies called? They're not development.
Yeah, they're e-learning developers,
Oh,
e-learning.
okay, e-learning developers. Yeah.
Yeah, developers. You'll find a lot of them on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So doing a LinkedIn search and thinking through where who are the buyers and how do you connect with them. So a lot of e-learning can be developed if you book something through a pay to play and then create a relationship with the developer. That's one way to go in. And then you can also offer your services to developers directly, and then they can continue to hire you. Because just like anything else, once someone knows that you know the genre and you are reliable and you can get things done quickly and efficiently, and that you are instantly part of the team that gets this job done, then you'll be offered other opportunities, right? Is that helpful, Kevin? If you're still here?
I think he had a roll, but
Okay, great.
oh wait, no, he's still here. Yay,
He's still
cool.
here.
Woohoo.
Yay. Cool. Excellent. What other questions came up for you guys, or what did you take away?
Ruben
I have-
O'Neill. Oh wait, oh sorry, go ahead. Zoe.
No. Were you going to answer my other question that I was going to?
I thought you'd hopped off, so please, yeah.
No. I had two questions actually because I came up with another one. First, I already signed up for June. Am I able to get a credit towards something else, or I don't remember how much I paid, honestly.
Oh, well, we can talk with Jeffrey about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then is there anything that we need to have before the session? Like anything I need to get? Just my computer and that's it.
Just your computer and that's it. And then you
Okay.
should be getting some emails about like things to be listening to, things to be listening for.
Okay.
That you can be, yeah.
All right. I just didn't know if I had to buy anything additional. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Not for you to do voiceover, no.
Okay.
And then Zoe, remind me again, what was the first question that you asked? I don't know if Tish, you want to like, if you and I can circle back around to Zoe's question, then I can email her after. Remind us what that question was again, Zoe, your first one.
Yeah, it was about the PA work on PA
Right. So
systems.
we did talk about, right. The getting the answer to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will circle back and get you that information when I find
Okay,
it.
no problem. That was it for me.
Yeah. I think Ruben was going to ask a question. Pause.
Yeah, Ruben, if you want to pop into unmute yourself and ask your question.
You rock. Okay. Hi. I just wanted to by chance because I'm definitely trying to get more involved when it comes to you actually opened up my mind when it comes to voicing toys. So I had a question as far as where would you recommend even remotely looking for work when it comes to toys and also versus anime? What would work best or what has worked best for you?
Yeah. Okay. So toys again. Well, first of all, think of toys. There's two things. There's just toys that are toys, and then there's toys that are learning toys, right? So we're actually so in the same way of thinking about e-learning developers, who are companies that make toys that either talk or have this e-learning component, right? This interactive component. So we have something coming up actually in July. One of our dojo members, Chuck Wedge, is a producer at Leapfrog. He's also a dojo member. He's been through the whole program. So someone like Chuck, who is the person who does the casting and runs the sessions, would be a great point person. So finding that person at Fisher Price, finding that person at Hasbro or Mattel, who is that person who develops those things, right? And it's very sometimes there'll be a call. Chuck casts a lot through agents. He'll send out castings to agencies. So if you have representation, that is a good opportunity. Yeah, and then in terms of toys, it's kind of it's kind of like the session doesn't pay. It pays okay. It pays well, and then the game is that you well, let me see if I can get the rates for the toys, and then the game is that you have a lot of things to make this toy be able to reply to anything, right? So it's about $500 to $750 for a 2-hour session, with $200 to $250 for additional hours. So, so if you're doing a session every day for a couple of weeks to get everything covered, that every iteration of what this toy can say or do, that is a great, that becomes a thing. And then if it's a toy that has updates and new things, right? Chuck tells a lot of stories about hiring kids and then having them come to the end of their vocal range. And so like these kids are making a ton of money working all the time, and then, sorry, you're too old to be little Sprout or whatever. So is that helpful, Ruben?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And then that the last part of my question is, where would you recommend, at least when it comes to finding additional like anime work? Because like I have been applying for Rousters, I have been applying, looking at Twitter, looking at the feeds, and of course I wanted to know if you maybe had additional insight when it came to other places to look for, and of course, et cetera, like that.
Yeah, I think that too is also very, how do you build those relationships with those people, who, and get to be known in those realms. So I know my manager at ACM is expanding into anime, even though it seems counterintuitive money-wise because it's so tiny amount of money. But it is that outward facing publicity. So yeah, finding the anime production companies. I know Ezra Weiss is one of our anchor people for someone who knows anime. Brittany Lauda, and then Bang Zoom, Funimation, all the places that are making the anime and doing the dubbing. So yeah.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't Tom Cullum just sign with either Funimation or Bang Zoom?
I think Funimation is in Dallas, which would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also like different like pockets, different regions, different areas you can, and a lot of it is still remote. So if you are at that level where you're like looking for that kind of representation, what we've been hearing kind of across the board from guests and casting directors is like, if you're at that level, like start moving on it and start making those inquiries and building those relationships while things are still kind of remote. As some stuff starts to open up, some of those opportunities are going to return to more like location-based stuff. But right now it's still pretty wide open in a lot of areas and will continue to be. Just some opportunities are going to, start closing a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Great to see you again. Cool. Well, we're about quarter after, but maybe we'll take one or two more questions if you have them. What else What else is resonating? What else? What
I think
else?
Terry Briscoe is in the house.
Oh, hi, Terry.
Hey Tish, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Let me see if I can see you. Where are you? Can I see you?
Where in here?
Come back, come back. Oh my gosh, me and the computer. Okay, I will hear your beautiful voice. Oh, here we go. I will hear your beautiful voice. And what is your question?
I was wondering, now that they have such a proliferation in video game apps for phones, is the pay scale for app video games along the same lines as console and CPU video games?
Interesting. Yeah. So mobile apps, that is a really good question. And I know we've been moving into getting opportunities to be able to cast them. So in terms of sessions on our side, I know it was pretty much the same non-union, those projects that we were casting were non-union by the client's choice. Sorry, I'm just trying to, I know I looked at this. Oh, here we go. So yeah, it was kind of the same 250 with a 2-hour minimum for those mobile apps. It is good to know who you're working with and for. So a lot of them are with companies that are internationally based and may have lower rates than that, like really a lot lower. When we're working on this project, this localization project, one of the things that came up is that how things are done in China are much less, like the way things are structured there are much less. And we were like, well, this is, if you're going to be working with us and talent here, this is how it works. So we were pretty clear that this is what is needed. The sort of toy, toy rates, kind of that. Let me just check and make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me just check. So from my experience, it's probably they're going to be a little lower, but you want to make sure that you're not going too low, right? Because especially in video games, there are not residuals, right?
Right.
So you want to make sure. Hold on a second. Let me just see if I can grab it here. Yeah. Are you getting a lot of opportunities like this, or are you looking to move into them?
I have seen a few things come across my desk. I wouldn't say a lot, but I just say they're starting to come more and more than just your regular opportunities of video games.
Yeah, and it's interesting because an app requires a lot of the same work, right? Yeah. Yeah, so it's similar. It's similar. 500 to 750. Union game apps 825. So it's very similar.
Very similar, yeah.
300 to 500 game minimum 1 hour session, or 200 to 300 hour 2-hour minimum. So yeah, so fairly comparable on the non-union and union level, because really the work you're doing is the same. It's just how it's being delivered.
Right.
And then in those Asian markets, there are no consoles. There are no game consoles in Asia. It's just delivered on your phone. It's just an app. Like people don't have PlayStations or things like that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either before you jumped in. Yeah. Yeah. Mark T, let's take your question.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Tish. Thanks for your presentation too today. I wrote my question in the chat, but I can just ask it.
Oh, yeah.
And it may be a little bit, well, it's different than the other questions that have been asked so far. So maybe a little weird, but I had a couple of friends friends in a program that I participate in. It's related to money and all, and told them about my enthusiasm about doing some more training in voiceover, and they suggested that I sort of check the education costs of several different places, and but the different studios have and training places have different ways of presenting their material and their experience. So I just wondered, and I've listened to a lot of the podcasts on the VO School podcast, which has been really helpful.
Yeah, that's Jamie.
But I'm just,
he's brilliant.
yeah, it's really, really helpful. Just wondering if you could make any suggestions about how you would compare. If you were at the beginning of your training path, I've done just a little bit of work when I was in Asia, actually.
Oh, cool.
Because there's, they're not the same from place to place.
No, not at all.
Just wondered how you might make a decision like that.
Yeah, well, I can answer. So one of the things about the dojo is, and this is not a weird question, it's a great question, because it's a question that opens up, one of the things that we love to do at the dojo is continue to create opportunities for you to ask great questions, because if you know how to ask the questions, then you can get the good answers, right? So I can answer as someone who has spent the last 10 years creating and evolving a curriculum and what we found effective, and then how it compares to other things. And then everybody as an individual, the things that I say about voiceover is, first of all, no one cares if you do it or not, so it'll be just fine if you don't. And if you want to do it, you will find the way to do it, right? I think, back in the day when I started, there was a way that it worked, and it was basically, if you wanted to make it to the top levels of voiceover, you moved to a major market, built your skills to be able to get representation from a major agency. That agency had relationships with the major advertising agencies. And then, so once you got to here, it was kind of like a little trout pond, right? And everything came here, and that was the path. And so, and there weren't 40 billion choices of voiceover training. So it was a little less confusing. So I think it kind of depends on who you are, and I think I'm trying to find the right metaphor, which is something that I do a lot. So I think that one of the things that we do is like that mind map. We like to give a really, let's do a whole understanding of how the whole thing works, and then how do you fit in, right? So I think those are the two things that you need to understand. You don't have to know everything at once, but if you do need to start at some place, but if you start here and you don't have any understanding of all of this or where it's building to, right? Like, we learned this today, great. Then you're just like, okay, great. But if it's not put in the context of how does it fit with this, or this is where you start, and then this is where it will grow to, right? This is, we start with this skill, and then that, and we build on that, and we build on that, and we build on that, and it becomes cumulative. I think there's so many tremendous opportunities to work with amazing people, and it's really, really powerful, and highly recommend getting, as you set your foundations, then to build and find those other perspectives. Always. I'm always like, who else can I work with? Who else can I learn from? Decades in, that's the cultivating beginner's mind. So then the question is, how do you get this foundation and understand where to put the information when you get it, right? How do you put it in context? How do you contextualize it all? And then also the thing that we approach it with the natural progression is that, first of all, cool your jets, like as if you were saying, as if you had told your friends, I would like to become a farmer and I would like to grow corn. And they'd be like, okay, Mark, well, what are the things you need to know? First of all, you're not going to go like, okay, I have a corn farm, I'll just make money now, right? You're going to have to purchase there's lots of things that you have to do to prepare that. So just understanding that's a process, or even simpler, you don't have to buy a corn farm. You could just plant a garden, right? And you can, and so let's say I don't want to get too lost in your. So how do you ask the right question? So what are you looking for, right? Are you looking to get started in one area where you can just like, I'm just going to do this and I'm just going to, start making money, or what are you looking to build is one of the questions. And then you don't know what you're looking to build because you don't know what there is, right? And then I think one of the things that happens in training is that you figuring out what the next steps are becomes part of the energy that it takes, because you don't know exactly what questions to ask. You might follow where your heart lies, but how does it tie in with what you've done already? How do you piece it all together, right? So I'm sorry, I'm feeling like I'm not answering as coherently as like what's in my heart. And what I want to say is, we're very much like we're here to facilitate you finding your way and then creating that place where you can understand how that works in a flow, in a build, in a way that you're being exposed to the working pro people at the very beginning, right? Because you can go into a beginner's class and then you're working with beginners, and beginners are lovely and fantastic. But if you're in a place where you're working with there's people who are ahead of you, people who are following up behind you, you're from the very beginning being exposed to the people who are doing the things on both sides of the glass. Oftentimes that takes a while before you even, get to experience that. And then, the way that we work, when you're in the full training program, you not only get to experience, you watch the first 2 belt levels, you are a spectator for the fight clubs, right? And the second belt levels, you are stepping in. So by the time you can finish that training, you have literally stepped in the ring with working pros on both sides of the glass. So it's really just how you want to piece it together. I would say caveat. That there's ways that there's people who are doing things for a quick amount of time and a little not unsubstantial amount of money, but not that much money. And metaphorically, you might be getting a plant from the hardware store that the roots may not be very deep, so it doesn't actually grow the way that you want, metaphorically speaking. As opposed to let's have you understand what the soil requires, and then plant the seed and grow it, and then you always know what the soil requires, and you always know how to plant the seed and where to get. Do you see what I'm saying?
I guess I just want to. No, I really appreciate how much time you've spent on my question, and I just realized from listening also, and just from asking the question too, that I think maybe it's just a question of some small steps in the beginning. I mean, getting a big picture, as you're suggesting, and as Jamie definitely suggests in that VO school podcast. But one needs, I need to take a leap at some point.
Yeah,
And, you
And
know,
then,
maybe try this one, you know, do a small workshop or something at this place, do another one at that, you know, try a
and
few places.
that's a lovely way to do, just like you would, you know, you want to buy a car, you go to a couple of places.
Take
or
a
you
test
can buy
drive.
Take a
Right.
test drive, and see what resonates with you, because that's the most important thing, right? How
Yeah,
we work may not be how other people want to work or do work, but it might, you know, it might be something that's like, yeah, that's exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
But would love to talk with you more, Mark. Like if you're interested in getting details, definitely sign up for some time with Jeffrey, and he can talk more in depth about what the whole thing is and how it works. And
Well, that's one of those 15-minute the voice, whatever you call
voiceover,
it.
once-over. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
And
you. Thank you very much.
what background are you coming from, Mark?
In terms of voice work?
No, just in terms of like what's your experience in life? What are you bringing to, like, what else have you done?
I'm an older person.
Well, that's why I ask.
So I've done a variety of things. I've done some professional writing, more professional editing. I was an English as a second language teacher in South Korea for many years.
Very cool.
I made a radio documentary when I was finishing my master's degree in humanities back in the 90s. And, you know, I've done school bus driving and, you know, a variety of things.
It's great. And I love getting to meet and talk with each one of you, because each one of you has ingredients that are like, ooh, yeah, no, that makes sense. You understand languages, you understand the nuances of languages, you understand writing, the function of writing. There's a lot of things. You can handle a bus full of rowdy kids. What else can't you do, right?
Yeah.
So it's good. Well, guys, hopefully that was helpful. I think we'll probably wrap it up here, but so glad that you guys, those of you who have stayed. If you are interested in talking more, make sure you get on Jeffrey's calendar. We'll be back next month with another one of these. Ask the Sensei is the first Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. PT. June is audiobook month, and we're going to be talking with Ronnie Butler, one of our favorite Fight Club and friend of the dojos. He's going to be our guest on Ask the Sensei, talking about audiobooks. And then he is also going to be doing a You Should Do Audiobooks workshop in the middle of June coming up as well. So all of that goodness. So Linda, good to see you. Everyone who's Laura, oh my gosh, Laura didn't even bring up the medical narration part. Laura's a doctor who also does VO. Yeah, great to see everyone. Thank you for your patience. And every time things don't go perfectly, and we just roll with it. So so we strive for excellence, and we go with what comes up. But thank you, guys. Look forward to seeing you next time. Jeffrey, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much again.